What is up, everyone? So yesterday, excuse me, we got the car back, or I should say yesterday, the expansion tank exploded and we got the car back today. But we put about 200 miles on it since the rebuild. I was gonna upload that video. I still actually might before this, so disregard everything I'm saying right now if I haven't posted it. But we did it. Everything seems to be fine. The car seems to be running really good. Really happy with it. But while we were refilling our Freon, the expansion tank just exploded. So I quickly turned off the car. I then turned it back on the on position, not on, to fire up the car just to check what the temperature was. And luckily the temperatures were normal. They were about 224 on the computer, and on the actual dial it was just nice and straight. So we didn't overheat the engine, thankfully. But we did get a new expansion tank, put it in today, and I drove the car home. Everything seems to be good. And I was thinking, you know what, the car's probably pissed at me that we haven't started molding it. So as you can see, we have all the stuff we need. We have body bondo, we have fiberglass bondo, we have sandpaper, we have rivet gun, we have a bunch of stuff that will help us today mold the rear fenders on. First thing is done. I actually flipped over the gas tank, so now it opens this way, just like the yellow car. So the only thing I really have to do now is just oh, this primer really is sandable, but all I have to do now is put the fender back on, mark exactly where I need to cut it, and then we can bondo everything. So now, as you can see right here, the fender is on, so I can mark it up right here and cut it, and should be able to start molding this fender on today. So very excited. So the rivets are fully on, and as you can see, the fender's not going to go anywhere. It's actually moving the whole car, so now we can start molding it. But as I was saying, so both of these fenders are completely on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rivets here, and really happy with it. It's on there really good. So tomorrow I'll probably start molding it, if the weather permits, because it was supposed to rain today but it didn't, so I luckily had time to put these babies on. And it is really wide. I'm definitely super excited for it. It's going to be just as wide as the yellow car. The yellow car still has a bunch of stuff. As you noticed, I actually removed the diffuser because we're going to be test fitting on this car first, before it's painted, so I can trim everything and probably just put it on this car and then order a new one and put it back on the yellow one. But this one overall is definitely making me very excited again. I actually got it back about a week ago from the shop. The motor was running. I was gonna post a video. I actually still might post a video, but I got it back. It's been running fairly good for the last 200 miles until yesterday, where I had to refill it with Freon for AC because they never did it. And while we were doing it, my expansion tank just exploded. So the car sat overnight at the shop. They swapped over the new tank and everything's been good. But super excited. This thing's coming out really great. I definitely can't wait to put the front on. I have about 800 miles to go for the braking period for the motor. Once that's done, we can really full send with the front bumper and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just gonna mold the side skirts, the rear fenders, and the bumper, have that finished, and possibly do the front fenders as well a little bit. Once all that is done, we're technically ready to slap on the bumper and paint. But I'm not gonna put the front bumper just yet, since it has a skid plate that's fully underneath, until I break in the motor completely, just to make sure we're not running into any more small issues, which I'm thinking we won't. I'm hoping we won't, because I really want to finish this thing. This thing is giving me so much motivation to just finish it. I'm just so excited. Like, the back looks phenomenal. So everyone, today we're actually going to be molding the rear bumper, or at least attempting, seeing how it's going to go. I'm going to put it on. I'm definitely going to spray it the same primer that I sprayed this. So it's not the same primer that I used in the yellow car. This one is actually a lot more darker. Kind of blends with the car, so we're going to do that on this and try molding it. I hope that I can actually mold this pretty well. and have the rear bumper technically fully on, and then start molding the side skirts from fenders and be done with the car and make it technically ready for paint. So before I get started with the molding process, I still have to trim a little bit right here, and as you can see inside here, so it has to be almost lined up with that. So yeah, there's a bunch of trimming still to do, and that's what we're going to do right now. I don't really have a tripod, so I'm just going to trim everything and then pick up the camera again. So I quickly sprayed half the bumper just to see how it's going to look. Guys, this thing is looking so sick. I'm extremely excited for this thing to be finished. I'm really going to try to mold the bumper in today. I really want to see what's going to look. And there we have it. It's fully cut. Now it's even, as you can see. I still have to cut a little bit on this side, I believe. Just a tiny bit. But I might just sand it down lightly so I can have a nice even line. Or actually I might just get a level and from one end to the other just see how it looks. But so far it's coming out really good. Definitely really excited. And now I think it's perfect. I think the line is perfectly straight. Don't mind the little hump here. It's because that plastic piece is not fully down. I actually have to unbolt it completely because I'm going to fiberglass that plastic piece to the bumper, so it's like a reinforcement. But the line looks straight. I'm really happy with the line. I think this thing's about to look so sick. Oh, I really hope I can mold the rear today so I can just leave it. But I do have to mess around with this, push it in more. Because it's poking out a little bit, but I could also just add Bondo and make it flush. But for now, same thing with this side. It was flush before, but I guess since I riveted it on, it kind of bent the flare in a little bit, so that's fine. We can still work with that. Definitely not a big issue. This one is in on this side, and this one is like flush. And Jesus, it's so dirty. She needs some loving. But back to the wagon. This is the fiberglass that I'll be using. This is like carbon fiber weave basically. It's interlapped, so it'll be very strong, plus it'll be actually flexible a little bit. But I actually bought 2 layers of this, even though one seems like it's enough. It's really thick, but I'm gonna do one and probably see if I can use the second one as well. But overall right now, this thing is gonna look so good. I'm really excited right now. So we are done with the first 4 layers of fiberglass. It's not pretty, but once it all hardens, we can sand it down. That's the good part about fiberglass. Once this hardens and pretty much where I want it to be, we can start adding more fiberglass. So I'm going to wait for it to fully harden, sand it down a little bit, because this part actually keeps popping off. But oh snap, it's already so hard. Damn, I'm actually gonna have to cut that side and just lift it just a tiny bit, but it's already so hard. And I'm super excited because once this fully hardens, I'm gonna add more fiberglass, make it nice and thick, and then we put fiberglass Bondo on top, sand it down, and it's one with the bumper. Super excited because it's actually coming out really good. Oof. I thought it was gonna be a lot harder. I mean, it is hard, but it's also very fun. If you're someone that likes arts and crafts, this is perfect for you because this is straight up arts and crafts. Like, just fiberglass, you mess up, sand it down, do it again, or cut it off, do it again. But I'm enjoying the process. Definitely still a lot to go. I am so filthy, Jesus. Got dust all over me, but guys, I'm so excited because I actually did it. Now, it's not pretty yet, but we have the mold done. As I was saying, this part kind of sags because I have to raise it all the time, so I'm actually gonna have to trim or cut right there, lift it up, and fiberglass it again. But the thing is, we have the mold. Now once we take this off, we can fiberglass on the inside and excuse me, and basically be done with the rear bumper. Only thing that's left is fiberglassing the back, reinforcing it, making it strong, sanding all this excess stuff completely off, then fiberglass Bondo on top, evening it out, making it nice and smooth, and the rear bumper is on. I am so excited, you have no idea. This thing just looks so good now. Oh my god, dude, like look at that. Oh my god, I'm definitely really excited. I don't know about you guys, but I thought the rear bumper would be the hardest part to do. Luckily, I mean, it was pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie. Doing it alone was extremely hard because I was rushing, mixing everything. Some of the epoxy is, or the resin is actually soft. So the whole point of this was just to make the mold on top so I can fiberglass it underneath, make it nice and strong. But yeah, it's doable to do it yourself, but definitely better with 2 people. And I'm really happy with the bottom. But once I add fiberglass, like I mentioned, I'm actually going to close that gap a little bit, but probably won't need to because I don't really mind it. It looks pretty good. But yeah, I am so excited. The rear bumper is basically molded. Just got to reinforce the back, sand all this gunk off, fiberglass it, and we're done with the rear bumper. And then we can do the side skirts, which are going to be, I guess, a little bit easier, but not really, because like I said, they kind of point up since the wagon side skirts are a little longer, which is weird. But we'll figure that out. We'll do that once we do the side skirts. The final thing to do would be the front fenders, just to completely mold them, the stuff that I cut off, and slap on the front bumper and the wheels, suspension, paint, and the wagon would be done. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours now, so it's fully hardened. The mold is done. Now I just have to take the bumper off and reinforce the bottom, like I said. But look how straight that is. Like, I'm so happy with it. Again, don't mind this, it actually has to be brought up. The bumper sags a little bit on this side, but when I bring it up, it's nice and straight. But I am so happy, you have no idea. Oh man, this thing is gonna look so mean. So I gotta cut this and just bring this up, but dang, it just looks so good. Like literally so good. This is the rear of the car. Finally, it actually looks like a car. I'm gonna take a few photos while I'm recording. But dang, this thing is just awesome. Super stoked, super happy. Like, words cannot express how happy I am right now. Well, that'll do for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, sort of. I couldn't really record. My tripod broke, so I just showed you, I guess, each step after it was done. But it took me about 10 to 15 minutes to just layer it on because I'm doing it myself. So before the resin hardened, I really had to like work it. So I put one sheet down, quickly poured the resin, dabbed it so there was no bubbles. Another sheet, dabbed it, more resin, another sheet and another sheet, and I did that for about a total of 4 sheets, which is still very thin. I want to do at least 7 to 8, but that's going to be reinforced to the bottom and then the Bondo on top. But that's it for this video. Just look at that rear end. Looks so good. There you guys have it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.